This is the Vertigo made by Bear, and I ordered this from Banggood. And here's all the components out of the box. No instructions, but it looks like it's a real simple build. Here's the electronics I'm going to use for this plane. Got a little Mantis ESC over here, 15 amp, and a Sunnysky motor, 2305 1450 kV, 8 by 3.8 inch slow fly prop, and just some HXT 900 servos and a little lemon receiver. Step one is to take the control surfaces and weight them down, try and get them to be more flexible. Let that set overnight. Here we go. That should loosen up those stiff control surfaces. I'll let that set overnight. It's got a pretty beefy wing spar, and it goes right in the fuselage and left and right wing. And there's some cutouts in there that we just need to cut out and remove in order to slip the spar in there. Here's part of the cutout on the fuselage, and I'm just going to use a little knife here and cut that out. And I'll do the wings next. Got the foam cut out of the groove and ready to go ahead and install both wings halves on the center fuselage, as well as the wing spar, and glue that in. And I'm going to use this E6000, just very similar to Goop. The wing and the spar is glued together, and I'll let that set up for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and glue the horizontal stabilizer onto the fuselage, and I'll let the glue dry in the tail assembly for a little while. So we remove the cutouts on the fuselage. Cutouts are removed. And glue the canopy in place and let that set up a little while. And now we go ahead and remove the cutouts on the center of the fuselage all the way down the center. I'll go ahead and cut the fuselage, the vertical part, right down the center here so that we can install it on the horizontal component like that. And now we just do a little test fit before we glue it on. Looks good. And next I'll go ahead and remove the horns from the board. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue in the Aileron Horns and the elevator horn, as well as a couple of the servos. And this is not a part of the build, but I'm going to add a thin little piece of carbon fiber right here along the horizontal stabilizer, just to kind of stiffen that whole area there. Just cut a little groove in there. Now it's time to glue the vertical component of the fuselage onto the horizontal part. I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom part on first, and then the top. Bottom's all on, and it's pinned in place till the glue sets up, and then we'll go ahead and put the top on. Airframe is pretty much done now. Servos are all in. Glue the motor mount on next. It's glued and pinned. We'll let that dry up a little bit. Next, I'll go ahead and install the carbon fiber bracing rods. They go all along the lower part of the fuselage here. I did a test fit of the fuselage bracing all the way along it. There are no cutouts, so I just placed them where I felt they would do the best. And now I'll go ahead and glue them in. And the bracing is all glued in place now. We'll let that set up. And now I'll glue the Aileron Extension on. Okay, I've got the receiver all bound up, and I've got the aileron push rods connected to the horns, and so that seems to work out pretty good. Now I'll go ahead and do the elevator and rudder. Next, I'll go ahead and install the Z-bend onto the end of the elevator push rod. And now I've got the elevator push rod installed along with the guides. The rudder push rod is installed now. And all the controls are working. I went ahead and installed the landing gear. Receivers installed. Try to tidy up the wires a little bit there. Add a little bit of a tail skid there on the back just to kind of protect the rudder. The wing fins are installed. Motor and props installed. And I think it's ready to maiden. Alright, just did the maiden, and the CG works out perfect right about there. So I just did a little cutout in the fuselage for the battery, and it's coming out right about where the S is in Monster, and pretty well balanced right there.